Opposing Viewpoints, White Collar Crime, How Does Money Laundering Occur, and What Can Stop It? Viewpoint 4, the results should not be responsible for monitoring money laundering by Daniel J.
Gray
Mitchell.
listing by FATF is consistent with up to
Starting with a quote, these absurd results are driven by
payments
government
received by
policies that force
countries.
financial institutions
Issues
to
of
treat all
economic
customers as
impact
potential
aside,
crooks.
These results suggest there is more work
This
to be
viewpoint
done
takes
on
the
assessing both
position
the
that
effectiveness and the efficiency of
the
the global
ways
AML
banks are forced
CFT
to monitor anti-money
counter
laundering activity is too
financing
expensive and inhibits
terrorism,
banks from lending
regulatory
to as many people
regime.
as they would
First,
like.
the
According to this
reduction in
viewpoint,
payments
the people
received by
this
countries
has
subject
the
to
greatest
greater
potential to
regulatory
harm are
scrutiny
those at
raises
the
the
bottom of the
specter
economic
of
system with incomes
potential
that
losses
are less
to the
easy
countries.
to trace in the international financial
Second,
system. From this
that
perspective,
there
any money
is
laundering
either
enforcement is just
no
another
effect
form of
or
inept
positive
government
effect
regulation
of
blind to
FATF
real
gray
world
listing on the
conditions.
number of payments
Daniel Mitchell is a
leaving
conservative
a
economist
designated
who worked
country
on
suggests
former
that
President
increased
George
scrutiny may not
H.W.
do so
Bush's transition
do
team in
much to prevent
1988.
illicit money
As you
from
read,
leaving high-risk
consider the
countries
following
and
questions.
entering the
What are
international
some of the
financial system
additional
at
costs of
large.
anti-money laundering regulations according to this
End quote.
viewpoint?
In other words,
How
lots
can
of
anti-money
costs
laundering
mostly borne by
efforts
poor people
hurt
in
poor
poor
people
nations
or the economies of
but
developing
no
nations?
evidence that criminals and terrorists
And
are
third,
being
what are
stopped.
some
Rather than
of the
imposing
other
lots of red
approaches
tape
toward
and
combating
requiring banks to
financial
spy on
crimes
everybody, it
that
would be
this
much better if
viewpoint
the
lays out
government
instead of
followed
targeting
normal
money
rules in the
laundering?
fight against crime. By all
President
means,
Trump
it should
says he
investigate real
wants
crimes,
to roll back the
collect
burden
evidence
of
and build
regulation,
cases
give
within
the
proper
morass
limits, and
of
work to
red
punish
tape
those who
that
inflict
is
harm on
strangling
others.
the economy.
So one of the
This
reasons
is
why
a very worthy goal. It's also a daunting task. Fixing the sprawling regulatory
no
state
evidence
is the
being
modern version
presented
of cleaning
is
up,
because
the
the government
Augean stables, and I'm not brimming with confidence that Trump and his appointees have
investigating real
Herculean
crimes
powers.
and
That
can't
being said,
actually
if they're deciding where to focus their regulatory
go back
efforts,
to the financial institutions
cost-benefit analysis
and
would be a
give
very
them
useful
feedback,
guide. Simply stated, go after the red tape that imposes the
about
highest
what's being
cost
done with their
while yielding the
reporting.
fewest benefits.
So it's
And
not
if that's the
surprising
approach,
here actually to
so-called
read that.
anti-money laundering regulations should be
But
on
don't
the chopping
squander,
block.
that
Banks
it
and other
doesn't
financial
appear that
institutions
it's
are now
being
being forced to
effective.
squander
But
billions of
anyway,
dollars in order to
continuing,
comply
but
with
don't
laws,
squander
rules,
resources
and
in
red
ways
tape
that
that
aren't
require them to
effective.
spy on their customers.
Some have
The
suggested
ostensible purpose
that it
of
would make
AML
sense to
policies
have
is to
banks
discourage
monitor
criminal behavior, but
a
experts have
discrete list
concluded
of
that this
potential bad
approach has
guys
been a
rather than
failure.
promiscuously spy
The reason
on
why
all
it costs
customers.
billions of dollars
That might
is
be a
that
step in the right
not
direction,
one
but this story from the
mistake is
UK-based
allowed
Times shows that this
on
approach
certain
leaves something
requirements.
to be desired.
To the
Quoting,
extent
a
that
controversial
AML
blacklist
policies
used
have
by
an
the
impact,
British banks
it's
to
been negative.
identify
In addition to
terrorists
high
and
costs
potential money
inefficiency, the
launderers has
laws
grown
and
so
regulations
bloated
have
that it includes
disproportionately
details
harmed poor
of a
people.
3-year-old
Richard
member
Vaughan,
of the royal
in the
family.
column for the Washington
World
Times,
Check, a
says,
database of
AML
more
laws are
than
the
2
modern
million
version of
high-risk
prohibition,
individuals,
well-meaning
including
in theory,
criminals
but
and senior
counterproductive in
politicians,
practice.
is used
Money
by
laundering fits under the
49 of the
definition of
world's
vague law because,
50
unlike
biggest
murder or
banks to
robbery,
carry out
it is a
compliance
crime
checks on
of an
existing and
act,
potential
but one of
clients.
intent. It is
Customers
not
who
a
are
crime
flagged
of an act, but one of
face
intent.
extra
This
scrutiny
leads to
and
many
their
problems and
accounts.
substantial
Hundreds of
prosecutorial
individuals
abuse.
were
It
included
is
partly
not
on the
only
basis
banks
of
and
unverified
financial
blog
institutions
posts and
that are supposed to
even
know the
far-right
source
or
of the
extremist
client's
websites.
funds, but also
Wow,
such diverse people as
some
car
of my
dealers,
leftist friends
pawnbrokers,
consider
real estate
international
agents, and
liberty
on
a
and
far-right
on.
and extremist
Often, it
website.
is
This
not,
doesn't bode well for me.
considered good enough
I
to
guess
know
I'm
the
lucky
source
that I
of the
still have a
customer's
bank
funds,
account. Here's more from
often
the
a
story.
mere possibility,
So,
but the source of the funds
this is
of the
supposed to
customer's
be
customer.
opposing viewpoints
The result
without,
is that
like,
banks and other financial institutions increasingly refuse to open accounts for low-income people.
the writer taking a side,
There
but
is a
they're quoting
very
another
high
writer.
fixed
So,
cost for banks and others to
adding
do business
my own
due
opinion
diligence
to
on their
this,
customers. The cost
I would
being
just
roughly
say
the
that
same for
an
a
SCN list
$5,000
already
deposit,
exists
a
from
$500,000
OFAC,
deposit, a $5 million
that
deposit. Given the
accounts
massive
that can't
penalties
be
banks and other
opened,
financial institutions are subject
or
to
have
for
to be
making even
frozen,
an unintentional mistake, their safest course of
blocked
action
or
is to drop small
blocked
customers.
funds or freeze
Recent
funds.
academic and think tank studies
So
show the situation
this already
only
exists.
getting worse.
This
all
is just
costs and
what they're
no gain.
referring to. This blacklist
Poor,
is a
including
British
poor countries,
bank,
and the honest pay of a huge price for
or
all the additional
applicable
compliance
in
costs, which
Britain,
reduces
and
productive global capital formation and real incomes. So all the civil money penalties that they put on banks only hurt the bank and the American economy and just fund more of the kind of prosecutorial work that continues this cycle. A working paper from the Center for Global Development digs into the numbers. The past 15 years have seen an unprecedented level of attention on anti-money laundering, issues by financial regulators, The total value of fines levied by regulators peaked at $15 billion in 2014 in the U.S. alone. Between 2010 and 2015, the Financial Action Task Force, an international group tasked with setting common AML standards across the globe, added over 50 different countries to an internationally recognized list of high-risk countries. There are growing concerns that this increase in regulatory activity is leading to a chilling effect on cross-border economic activity as banks limit their exposure to high-risk clients or jurisdictions. A process known as de-risking. This contraction of the correspondent banking network has sounded a number of alarm bells as these services are being seen as crucial for most cross-border services. The ICC survey reported that over 40% of respondents felt that AML and Know Your Customer requirements were a significant impediment to trade finance, with nearly 70% reporting they declined transactions that year. A large number of money transfer companies in the U.S., the UK, and Australia have lost access to banking services as a result of banks' desire to reduce their exposure to regulatory risk, potentially leading to a decrease in formal remittances to developing countries, a critical source of development finance. The combined effect of all of these pressures should be leading to declines in the aggressive flow of cross-border payments. And here are the results of the new empirical research in the study. The combination of large-scale fines, higher compliance costs, and international naming and shaming has anecdotally made many banks to withdraw from certain lines of business or geographic areas, to the potential detriment of cross-border economic activity. We find evidence that gray listing by the FATF is